Yo, what's up? Another episode of Black Man's Thoughts, man. To get into this video, man, we're gonna talk these Browns, Ravens, Browns. What these Ravens did, man. Ravens came out there, put a whooping on them Browns. Uh, I think that we did a lot better, man. I definitely think we did a lot better. I think that let's start off from the beginning, man. The first part of the game, man, first half of the game, bro, was really awful offense by the offense, man. It's like they couldn't get into rhythm. Defense, Browns defense is for real. Brown defense is for real. Them boys up front is playing. Graham was pretty good. Schwarzenegger was pretty good. You know, then you got the top dog, Miles Garrett. Man, the boy was wreaking havoc, man. They just have a good team, man. Delpit, Ward, I think Newsom. They have a really really good defense. The offense wasn't as much, man. They really the defense gave a lot of problems to the Ravens offense, man. Voorhees he had a tough outing on this one. Coincidentally, I didn't see too many, you know, blown plays for Falele this week. I noticed more of the left side of the line, man, because Miles Garrett was giving Ronnie Stanley hell. And then Voorhees was, yeah, they was giving that boy hell. And I know what's the name? I think Linderbaum and then was struggling with Graham. I definitely saw that. Um, Zay was getting off. Zay was getting off, man. He found his pockets, you know, but just the first half, the offense wasn't going anywhere. But the defense, on the other hand, man, they were playing lights out football. It was like I told my wife, I said, it looks like they're playing tight. It looks like they're at some point in time there's scar tissue. There's scar tissue from giving up on them blown leads, all them blown leads. And I think it's on their minds so much that they're playing so tight. I think this was a bounce back game for Nate Wiggins. I thought that I was, Jair being held out. I thought that was a smart play. But what's a head scratcher is if you're telling me he's not in football shape and you're telling me that you want to get him right, well, what the hell was the first week? Why is he out there? You know that those are the things that doesn't make sense to me. I thought that Roquan, what he was playing, he's playing more with a chip on his shoulder. I'm not saying he has a chip, but he's playing for meaningful. I felt like the year before last, you just hear around, just hearing him with his quotes, and when he got here, you're hearing all these quotes, and then it became like, okay, he's done the quotes, he's done the Ray Lewis. Some planes every time I do this. He's done the quotes. He hit a patch where I felt like he was just there, and maybe it was because he was too busy having to hold Trenton Simpson's hand. But for some reason, I feel like this year he's been a little bit more noticeable than he was to me last year around this time. I mean, we dropped a stinker against the Bills, man. That hurt. That really did hurt, man. And I just felt like watching that defense. I felt like they weren't playing loose yet. They're not playing loose yet. I do think it was again a bounce back game for Wiggins. I think that Malachi Starks is not messing up. I think he's in the right place. He's where he's supposed to be. So that shows exactly what they said he was as a really smart player. I think that Kyle Hamilton is all over the field. One thing about Kyle Hamilton that always kind of like kind of messes with me is like, you ever notice how every 3, 4 plays he's like limps or he's slow to get up, but then he'll finish the game. It's like, God damn, man, it's like I'm waiting. I don't want it to happen, but it's like shit. You make it seem like I don't know. I just noticed that a lot. Who else? Teddy Buchanan. Teddy Buchanan really popped. Teddy Buchanan really popped. I think the first half, man, the defense was really, 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 really. They were really in sync, I would say, in a sense. You know, as the game got on, to me, I started to see certain things, but I thought for the most part they were really in sync. Defensive front. Matabike he was getting there. Matabike, that's 2 sacks, 2 games. All right, I'll take it. Oh wait, he's more of a cleanup sack guy. That's what I'm noticing. Like he won't beat the play to get the sack. The play will break down and then he'll get the sack or he'll chase the sack. So honestly, I felt like the pressure. I thought like we got sacks, right? But that's, to me, I feel like that's the story with the Ravens. We may lead in sacks, but when you watch the game, we're not dominating with sacks. To like like it seems like when we need the sacks, there's no pressure. But on times they'll get into a rhythm and you're like, oh man, they're really down and up. But I feel like the set it came when Orr was mixing things up and he was sending pressure. He like exotic blitzes, fake blitzes. I forgot what it's called. But I just felt like as terms of just Oweh winning, as Mike Green just winning, I saw them get stopped a lot, and I'm just like, that's when we need to seem like there's that dog on the field. And I still don't feel like there's that dog on the field. I feel like the defense is not about a dog that's getting sacks. I think this is about the fear of coming to the fear of the defense as a whole. But there's not one guy off that edge that, to me, is strike field. Now, what if Matabike keep going? But like, what if it's week 10, he got 10 sacks? You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, he's really doing this shit. So it's just something about this pass rush, man, that I can't put my finger on it, man. They're getting there, but they're not getting there. I think that Oweh is just a weird guy to assess because he's not terrible, but he doesn't seem elite. But at the same time, it's like when you watch him, it's like you have all the tools to be exactly what you should be. Good. Real good. I don't know. Mike Green, I was kind of like, you saw a lot of the getting there, and now you're seeing against really, really good talent. It's a lot harder. And I think his pass run percentage, his win rate wasn't that high, actually. I'm not seeing too much of Travis Jones so much wreak havoc in pass plays yet. I'm seeing, I didn't see too much of Peoples, but I know he's playing, and it seems like you'll see him just move really quick, and then it's washed away. That's the thing about Peoples. You'll see him on the field, you say, okay, Peoples in there, and then he'll do a really, really quick flash, but sometimes, a lot of times, that flash, he ends up just getting wiped out, so you'll see the burst, but the burst doesn't go anywhere. So, I don't know, let me get back on topic, but the first half, but what was one game, and then second half we came out and we just punished them. Run game never got going, but I just felt like Lamar found its pockets, man. Just Zay, Taz was coming out there making catch after catch, and I'm just like, I'm interested how they going to involve Taz. Let me ask you this: you have a Tylan Wallace who every time the guy plays, he makes a play. But every time the guy plays, he makes a play, and that's it. He'll go for like one catch for 7 yards, that's meaningful as shit. 2 catches for 17 yards, that's meaningful as hell. But then you have a Tez who's like 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, I think, and he's behind Tylan Wallace. But you know that whenever Tylan's in the game, he's going to be a really good blocker, and if you give him an opportunity, he is going to make the play. It's just not going to be the play that a Tez Walker could make. So that's an interesting dynamic on playing time. D Hop, I would like to see why I feel like Flowers gets open, and I feel like Flowers is becoming the new Andrews, where Lamar is just keying on Flowers, and I think that he's not allowing the route development of Bateman or whatever it is that seems to always come later in the season. And this is like the multiple seasons where at the beginning of the year he doesn't target bait, and then there's that conversation of does him and Bate have chemistry and all this other stuff. But I think that it has something to do with either the timing of the line, or Lamar just has his mind made up that I'm going to watch and I trust Bate to get open. But Bate, when he gets the ball, he makes the fucking play. He makes the play, and it's like this. If this guy leading in the separation, how isn't he just like, I don't know. I don't understand their rationale on Bateman's targets and his involvement in the game. And then D Hop, it just seemed like D Hop, man, he is just playing lights out ball. I think he definitely still has it. I think that there's definitely like, that's the thing, man. You have a deep threat in Bate, a deep threat in Tez, and a deep threat in D-Hop. That's a lot. That's pretty dope. And I'm just like, if they can start, I would force more balls to bait. Why? Because now they're not so much keen on Zay. Zay can eat. And I think that they can use Zay, because if you look at Zay's averages, it's like 10 yards per average per catch. That's a first down. And if you look at everybody else's, it's a little bit more, because Zay, they get him involved in short spaces. So I'm like, okay, if that's what you're going to do, if he's going to be the chain mover or the first down guy, well, let's draw some attention to other receivers so he can get these first downs even easier. And I think that they should try to utilize bait a lot more. I would like to see D-Hop more on the red zone, man. Like, and Tez. I mean, Tez, you have Tez, Zay slashing across the field with Likely working underneath, and a D-Hop who can make contested catches. And then you still got to worry about Lamar. That's a lot. I think goal line should be really, really good. Special teams. Finally saw some special teams action, man. I used to watch the Steelers get blocks and shit, and I'm like, where's our punt blocks? Jake Homo came in there and got us a block, man. I loved it. The defense was getting turnovers, man. This was a good game. This is a good game for the defense to say, okay, we can breathe a little bit. What we did last week worked. And whatever we did, let's build on that. The communication we had for the Browns game, let's keep that up and build on that. The film watching, let's keep that up and build on that. So I hope they don't take the foot off the gas. Speaking of that, I think they did right, man. Keep running up that score, man. Get into rhythm. I think that they definitely have a problem with one of the guards. I do. They have a problem with one of the guards, and I think a blessing in disguise when Clowney went off the board to the Cowboys. I'm hoping that money now goes to a guard. I do. But at the same time, I'm also not hanging my hat on this pass rush, man. Let me know what y'all think, man. Like, subscribe, share. Tell me, is the pass rush getting better, or does it seem the same as last year? We're getting sacks, but it's not when we need the sacks. And it's not you saw against Josh Allen what we did. Let me know what you think, man. Has the pass rush gotten better? Like, subscribe, share, leave a comment.